welcome to the Cabbage Club. It's the one and only Casey Gibbons with my boy Kaden Bergans, and we are here to bring you just beautiful sounds in your ears.
Oh yeah, beautiful sounds, and welcome you to an incredible morning where you're not so bored on that drive.
Nah, nothing's worse than driving.
Maybe you're at a waiting room or something.
That's worse than driving.
No, that's worse than driving.
Yeah,
but that's why we're here.
Sucks.
That's exactly why we're here. So welcome to the Cabbage Club and being a part of the Cabbage Patch. And
just become a ripe little cabbage.
Just a ripe little cabbage. We're going to grow you guys while we grow ourselves, and we're hoping that you grow with us.
We want to become a Guinness World Record cabbage with how big we are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, welcome to our book podcast.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Exactly.
I really think books are going to be a fun segment to do.
I'm really excited for this. I've kind of developed my loving for, like, I loved books throughout school, like junior high and stuff, but kind of high school I fell out of them. College at the beginning I did for sure, but this last 2 years I've really started to dig books and start loving them.
Yeah, growing up, I mean, especially through junior high and most of high school, I didn't read.
No.
I don't know, my brain didn't work, I guess. But after high school, I really enjoy reading.
Yeah, it's actually really...
It's a different experience from, the other entertainment that's out there today, watching a screen, sitting on your phone.
It uses your imagination.
Yes.
You fill in the blanks yourself.
Exactly.
It's different.
You imagine the characters differently. You imagine the settings differently than other people would. And that's a big reason of why Cabbage Club is here. Yep. We want to hear different perspectives. We want to hear what your feedback is on this book or this chapter. And it really makes not only us think, but we're here to make you guys think as well. And, really dig deeper into what you're reading or what you're watching.
Exactly.
Because we do have other podcasts.
Yeah, so the Cabbage Club, we're here to bring you movies. TV shows, animation, because anime was a little
We're going to mix it up a little bit.
Anime is a shame. There's so much animation out there. It's just, there's so much content out there, guys. There's so much good stuff. It's going to be hard, but we are here for the challenge. Here we are on this book section.
Yes.
So our goal for this is we want to read about a book a month or two, you know. We're going to give the chapters here. We'll divide it out between books, so we'll let you know when to stop for the podcast, or keep going by all means, but don't spoil anything ahead for the fellow community members, the fellow cabbages. Yeah, don't spoil.
Don't be like my books.
Don't be a rotten cabbage.
Don't be a rotten cabbage. A spoiled cabbage.
No one likes spoiled cabbage.
Nasty
stuff.
Yeah, but we would like you guys to definitely stick up with us, what chapters we're reading, and join us and follow along with us. So
eventually we want community feedback in the episodes. Like, we want to read your opinions on air so that people can hear, and we want to just get the community formed. We want to get superstars in there. We want everything.
And to get that formed, you can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and
everywhere.
Of course, much more, And so
this is still we're still a little early. We're kind of we just want to get these done, these top 3 episodes, so you get a little bit of our opinion. So in the more regular episodes, we're gonna have actually where you can find us, a specific URL, website, and stuff like that. So right now we're still kind of working on the details. We're growing.
Yep, stay tuned with us. We'll give you all that information for sure. But today what we want to do is give you our top 3 books. Really give you an insight on what we like to read, what our interests are, and really who me and Casey are, and our perspectives on, how we...
Books and stuff.
Exactly,
How our thoughts. And I gotta say, before we get into our list, because we made a top 3 movies, TV, animation, and books. And books was by far the easiest. I don't have too many books I've read, so that's something I gotta work on.
See, and that's the thing, is I have a lot of books that I've read, but it wasn't until recently, probably the past year and a half, where I started keeping track of the books that I've been reading. Because I used to go to the local library and just kind of read whatever was on the shelf. True. And there's a lot of it, especially nonfiction books, that I really enjoyed, but I cannot remember the names of them.
Dude, I read so many animal books when I was a child. All the time. Just go to the library. What were those books called in elementary? They were the animal. Were they like Zoopedia? Did you not have those? They were about a certain animal, and they were like a magazine type.
Yeah, no.
Man, if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about, let me know over on Reddit, because those were like my shit as a kid, man. I think I want to say Supedia, but I'm not 100% sure.
Like the magazines?
Yeah, but they were about a specific animal every magazine.
Interesting. I'm thinking of a different like subscription magazine that kids used to get.
Like the National Geographic Kids or something?
Nah.
Discovery Kids?
Nah, I can't really remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you could get a subscription service for this, so maybe we're talking about the same thing and my name's just way off.
Just have different names, so.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about animals. We are here to talk about the top 3 books out there. And, well, Kaden, I want to switch this up, so I want you to start, man.
Okay.
What's your number 3 book?
My number 3.
Yeah.
Kind of build up the suspense.
Exactly.
Number 3. So, like I said, I have a lot of books that I've read and that are at the top of my list, but there's only a short selection of few that I have in my head.
Yeah.
Written down, remembered. So my number 3, it's called Project 1065.
Okay.
Technically, yeah. I know it's called. There's a little bit more to that title, but Project 1065, you can find it anywhere by just typing that in, by Alan Gratz. And what it really is it's about this Irish kid. Him and his Irish family, they come over to Germany, and they basically have to blend in with the Nazis and the Nazi youth. And so this kid, his name is Michael. And Michael, he is basically a spy now for the Irish. So he joins the Nazi youth group and really tries to get information. Like I don't want to spoil the whole book, but he gets very good information on what the Nazis are doing, what kind of weapons they're using. And throughout the book, he comes across this U.S. air pilot named Simon. And he's a really cool character in the movie.
Okay.
I mean, he really had me.
Yeah.
And he's a really good guy. You could tell just his mission. And I'm a sucker for, like the military fighting stuff. So he was a really cool guy. And so, Michael has this information. He's trying to get back to U.S. without getting caught by the Nazi youth by doing this. So it's a very conflict book from both sides. You never know really what's going to happen and the twists they take and the risks he takes to get back to safety.
Ooh, okay.
It's a very good one.
That sounds really good. I might have to check that out.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could go more into it.
Nothing better than a spy thriller. Nah, yeah, you don't want to spoil it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a...
I can't be a spoiled cabbage,
Exactly.
I'm one of the main cabbages, and if I'm spoiled,
cabbage. Then that's a one-man show right there.
Exactly.
I don't want that pressure.
So I highly recommend it. Project 1065, and it's Project Projekt.
Oh, okay.
So 1065. Very good one.
Sweet.
My number 3.
I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yep, let's hear it.
All right, man. So you're kind of making me look bad on the spot because I forgot the author. So if you could look up the author for me, that would be great. I'd give him some credit.
I can do that.
Sweet. But my number 3 is World War Z, the book. And man, World War Z is such a creative book. It is...
Max Brooks.
Yeah, there we go. That rings a bell. So Max Brooks just did one of the most unique things for zombie fiction that I've seen. And basically... he takes the whole span of the zombie apocalypse and writes short stories in that time frame about like the time they're in,
Right. Okay.
So he'll start with the beginning of the zombie apocalypse where like people have no idea what's going on, so they're like hiding people in storage units that are sick and sending them over to countries to see if they can find a doctor, and that's kind of how like it spreaded. So you learn that, and then there's many different stories about the scientists and how they're dealing with it at the beginning, and then it'll go into the middle section where the zombie apocalypse is really starting to go down, and it'll just talk about survival stories and like just super. There's one about a nuclear submarine that is one of the coolest short stories I have ever read. Like,
okay,
it is just, I haven't read this book in a minute, so I really want to try to convince it and maybe get it on the book club, because I think it'll be a really good read for the book club. Yeah.
All right, you've been mentioning it to me for a while.
It's a really good one, man. And then like the ending, they talk about the ending. It's just one of the most unique zombie fictions out there, and it really has a grand scope that pulls off extremely well.
Okay.
And the movie by Brad Pitt, it's a good movie. It could have been better.
Movie, of course.
I wish it would have been an HBO series. I think that really would have made World War Z shine, have the short stories, anthology series, new actors every time.
That would have been cool.
But I love Brad Pitt, so.
Yeah, and since you mentioned, this little short stories, I'll hurry and throw out one of my honorable mentions, Lovecraft Country.
Ooh, that's an honorable mention for me as well.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, that's how it shows how freaking good it is. So, and I really like how they take, short stories and put it into one. Yeah. And make a whole story. Yeah, they make it like it comes together in the end. Lovecraft Country does that very well. Yeah. The creativity, I mean, not only the book, but the TV show, the creativity they put into it. Really well done. Like, the coolest thing about Lovecraft Country is it's called Lovecraft, so you think, like, the monsters would be the scariest part, but honestly, it's, like, America in the 1960s for a black person is the scariest part, and it really goes into the social commentary about that at the beginning, and you're, like, you're more afraid of the racist sheriff than you are of the creature attacking them. True. Yeah, that was quite an iconic scene. Yeah, when they were getting chased out of that one town because it was almost sundown. Right. Yeah, that was an intense one. That's insane. Like, it really does put a whole different perspective on. I mean, seeing not only just in the show, but it brings out reality as well in society. We're just two white guys. We have no idea what that's like, and it kind of helps show that in perspective. And you're like, wow. Yeah. Fuck, Oh yeah, because it's not just a movie thing. No, it's not just a TV show. It's based on fact, and you're like, fuck, that is just messed up, and it really makes you think. Oh yeah, it really does. Great book, read it if you guys haven't. Yes, Lovecraft Country is one of the top honorable mentions for 100%. Me. It stuck with me very well. So muchacho, what's your number 3? My I already hit my number 3. I think it's your number 3. Yeah, no, I just did my number 3. It's your number 2. Oh, number 2. Yeah. That's right. Okay, number 2. So, me and Casey, we've been on the Dune series for quite a while. The Dune series by Frank Herbert. All right, and I think 80s. Is it the 80s? Nah, dude, they started in like 67, bro. 60s. Yeah, holy shit. It started old. It's an old ass book. Wow. Okay. Well, so it's just crazy how like Frank Herbert can make like the sci-fi world that actually still like relates to the world today. And just the sci-fi world he came up with. I mean, it blows my mind how much detail he goes into. So much detail. So it makes you wonder how long did he take on getting that detail before he even wrote a word in his book. Yeah. So 100%. So the series is a big thing. Out of that series, my number 2 is going to be the 3rd book, Dune 3. It's called Children. Oh shit, dude! Yours is Children of Dune. Is your number 2? I thought you were gonna do Dune number 1. Because you know what? Children of Dune is my number 2 as well. Really? Yeah. So I put that as number 2, so we'll go in on this one together. Okay. I'll let you take the lead though first, man. So, Children of Dune. Where can I start? So I'm a twin. And so right there, I think it's really cool how the twins are the main focal part of this book. You got Leto, and then you got Ganima. I think I'm saying that right. Ganima. I don't know, but complicated names. That's complicated words. One thing you got to get used to with Dune is the complicated names, and when you're trying to pronounce it, you just got to accept it that you got it right and move on. Yep. Don't stick too long on trying to get the right pronouncement. Yeah, you'll be there forever. It'll be a long book for you. So yeah, Dune number 3, Children of Dune. I mean, if you come off Dune number 2 going into number 3. I think that's what really made it for me. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys have read Dune. I might spoil a little bit. But, Paul in number 2 and how he ends with going into number 3. Yeah. It sucks because I can't spoil anything. Because that's such a good scene. But, man, it's an incredible scene. Paul is just incredible. Exactly. Like that one scene that involves Paul and Aaliyah. Yeah. Like, had me, like, I literally had to call Kaden and be like, dude, I just read the scene. Yeah. What the fuck just happened? I dropped the book and was like, "Oh my god!" So it was incredible. Aaliyah in that series is one of a kind. One of a kind. She just really pulls the book together. Oh yeah, she is my favorite. She's my favorite character in Dune, I think. Which is surprising. I don't blame you. Yeah, she is quite a roller coaster of a character. I'd say Leto number 3. Leto 3 is mine. Yeah. But what the twins go through to get where they got to. The tricks that they pull off with their, I think I'm saying it right, Bene Gesserit. Yeah. Bene Gesserit. with the Ganima's Ben Gesserit moves, with her mind tricks, and how she forces herself to do things that no human being could possibly do.
Yeah, it's so good.
And then the wild turn that Leto takes at the end.
Yeah, there's just it's such a twisty and turny book that leads to 4 beautifully. Oh, and like 4 is a really, really great book too.
Leto is the peak of the Dune series.
So far, if I were to say, if you guys were to jump in the Dune series, I really think you should try to make it to Dune 4. Yeah. You can end at Dune 4. Dune 5 is really good still, and Dune 6 I need to finish.
Yeah.
But
same.
We just
Dune 6 was a little slow for me.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even that. It was more, since sadly Frank Herbert passed away and we never got Dune 7 and 8. Like, I just hear Dune 6 leads to places and just ends on cliffhangers.
Yeah, and
it lost my enthusiasm.
Not looking forward to that.
No,
Whereas like the end of number 1 or 2, you were looking forward to
100%.
what Leto's gonna do. Yeah. What are the twins gonna do?
So that's why I would think. I mean, I would still recommend giving 5 and 6 a try for sure. I'm gonna finish 6 eventually, but if you really try to get to 4. If you're not, and maybe if you're just liking the Dune series, try to push through to 4, because I think 4 caps it off in a really good way.
Yeah, 4, you could end at 4 and still get a full sense of what the world is. Yeah, and the message.
Yeah.
And so Dune 3.
Shout out to Dune 1 though. That is a classic to Dune 1. For a
that
reason.
Is one of my honorable mentions. Dune 1.
Same of mine, honorable mention.
It sucks you in quick. That's what got me to number 5.
The world building in that, the way he describes Arrakis, the planet is just. Wait, no.
Yeah, Arrakis.
Is Arrakis Dune?
Arrakis,
yeah. Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, so, it goes through a couple different names through the different books, but Arrakis is what it starts out as.
Yeah, and man, the way he describes it, the people there, the society,
how he becomes a prophet, you know, and so it's really cool. And Frank Herbert did an incredible job psychology-wise. I mean, incredible. Some of it, especially in book number 4. Yeah, when Leto was. A big thing in the movie or in the book. Yeah. A lot of the stuff he said kind of went over my head, but a lot of it I did keep up with as well. And it just exactly what we're on here for. It makes you think. And
I'm a little dumber when it comes to philosophy stuff.
Everything,
a lot of it
went over Casey said. Reflecting off the perm. So he did very well at that, and it added a lot to the book. Yeah, for me. So.
Incredible series, and I cannot wait for that movie, man.
Yes,
that trailer looks so good.
Oh yeah, the movie. I am so excited for it. That's the number 1 movie I am looking forward to.
My number 1 anticipated movie. Dune might finally get a good movie. Yes. And as a huge Star Wars fan, honestly, if they could push a movie series to Episode 4, they might it could overpass Star Wars, I believe, with just the structural new Star Wars themes.
Series. New sci-fi,
Because it's I saw the Dune series described online as if the Star Wars franchise hated you. Because Dune really does not give a shit about your feelings. It's we are going to do whatever we want with this character, whether you like it or not. And you're like,
oh yeah,
all right, I guess I'm here for the ride.
Oh yeah, but I think they're going to do awesome on it. So.
Oh yeah.
So definitely stick around. Join our other podcast over at Cabbage Club Movies.
Yeah, well, that will definitely,
and you'll see that Dune on there. And
so excited.
We'd love to hear what you guys think about it. And keep up with our feedback, your opinions, our opinions, and it's gonna be an awesome episode. So I'm gonna have a very good party on that episode.
Yeah. So hell yeah. All right, so we're gonna knock out the honorable mentions before we get to number 1.
Those out of the way.
I got one more because we already mentioned Dune 1, Lovecraft Country. So my last one is actually one I am reading right now.
Oh, okay.
I had to put the Warden Man on it, man.
Oh, okay.
I am extremely digging the Warden Man, and that is Warded, Warded. So
yeah,
and it's about demons that come out at night in this. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. So it's this kind of prehistoric town and stuff. So they're villagers, peasants, farmers, loggers, very old-fashioned medieval style. And man, just the world building, the characters, I really love, like, they got 3 main characters. I'm loving all of them so far. The little stories in each chapter, it really cuts off, and like every chapter feels fulfilling, but yet leaves you with something where you're like, oh, I gotta go read the next chapter, you know. It hooks you up.
Yep.
I'm really excited to dig into the Word, man. I'm excited to see what that series brings.
Yeah, especially the series. I think the first book's just like Dune 1. It's just building right now. It's just laying the building blocks for... so I have high hopes for the later books in Watered Man, because I am into Watered Man as well now. I wouldn't say, because I have my number 1 on here, and there's a reason it's number 1, is because it really took me. Watered Man, I'm keeping along with it. I'm really keeping up with it, knowing what's going on, how the setting is, the characters are, and you mentioned the characters. You can really stick with those characters really feel what they're going through.
Yeah. So, it puts you in their perspective very well. Like, when he starts off as like a 10-year-old, it kind of puts you in that perspective of a child in that time, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then now he's like 18 at the part I'm at now, and he's like, you just tell he's maturing, and you can tell the character growth.
He's thinking about what he wants to do for his life. And
how far are you in it?
So I'm almost to the 3rd part. I'm about the second end of it.
You're catching up.
I'm about the very end of the 2nd part.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're catching up. I just started the 3rd part, and it starts off with a bang.
Yeah, so Watered Man, it's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm very much enjoying it, and I am excited to see what else it brings throughout that series.
Same.
So,
I got high hopes.
Oh yeah, I'll have an honorable mention in here. I got a couple, but the first one I'll give you. I grew up on this book, read it in junior high, and after I read it in junior high, I read it a couple more times. I think I've read it a total of 4 times.
Wow.
Really love the book. There's a movie about it. It's called The Giver.
Okay.
The movie doesn't do the book justice.
Yeah.
The movie's still very good, and it really does stick very closely to the book, but it doesn't do it justice.
Okay.
The writing in The Giver, for you guys who haven't seen it, what it's about, this kid, he's living in this civilization, this society, and they've dulled down their senses, so he doesn't see color at first, nothing but black and white, and it's from the drugs that the society gives him and stuff like that. And it's a society where they assign you your job for the rest of your life. You don't have a choice. They just assign you, this is your genes, this is your personality traits, so you're good for this job.
Okay.
So this kid, can't even remember his name now, but he gets one of the most important jobs in civilization, and the job is called The Giver, where he has past memories of what the old world used to be like.
Yeah, that sounds rad.
So he starts getting all this information from the teacher and starts seeing other things that, the rest of the people can't.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool thought, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that is a cool concept. Like something
concept.
That's a really cool idea. Like something you don't really think about, but it could lead to cool stories.
The author did it very well in not rushing it to where it doesn't make sense, but where he keeps it nice and slow and keeps you entertained. He learns one sense at a time, where he goes back into a memory and sees what sledding is for the first time.
That's interesting.
And for me reading it, I think sledding, I've been sledding a million times, but to him, that was his first time sledding, and it was the most incredible thing in the world.
Okay.
So that's what I really liked about the book. I guess it brought a different perspective, not only, really, to life. So
yeah, hell yeah. That sounds interesting. It sounds really cool.
So,
shit.
What?
Sorry to cut in, but I don't know why this just clicked in my head, but I forgot an honorable mention I have. This probably what made it on my list. Is like, might have been number 3, honestly, if I would have thought about it more. But
all right,
since we're right in here, The Road.
The Road. I haven't read that one.
Oh my god. It's about the apocalypse, and it's a boy and his dad in the apocalypse, and it is one of the most depressing books I've ever read, and one of the most depressing movies I have ever watched. Like,
there's a movie.
Yeah, me and my mom, like, because I watched a movie with my mom, we looked at her, we're like, we need some like pain pills right now or something to end it, because goddamn, I am depressed as all hell, it just downs you. But the book is so good, so intriguing, and I don't think books really need to be happy. Like, they put you in I mean, our number 1 isn't. So
I wouldn't say that's the happy. I mean, there is happy moments, but I wouldn't say it's the happiest book.
And that's how The Road is, it's those little happy moments, those little moments in a bleak world that just I don't know, it's a roller coaster. I really like The Road a lot.
You gotta love those books.
Yeah.
The roller coaster of emotions.
100%.
And that's the exact reason I love my number one pick. So, is your number one the same as me?
Yeah. Do you got any honorable mentions, or should we go right into number one?
Let's see. I mean, I have a couple books, but I wouldn't say they're honorable mentions.
Okay.
I mean, I'll mention one. It's a nonfiction. It's called The Path. Can't remember the author's name. It's really a book about Chinese philosophers and their philosophies. And
that's cool.
The only reason it's an honorable mention for me is I got it quite a while ago. It's one of my favorite books. I read it like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's just really a life lesson book, kind of how to keep your morals, your ethics. And so that's why I like it.
Yeah,
but like I said,
cool.
not too big of an honorable mention. I won't go too deep into it. I'm really excited to get to our number one.
Yeah, all right. So should we say at the same time? I'm going to count down to 3.
I mean, I hope it's the same thing,
all
so
right.
Let's hear it.
3.
1.
Oh, you want to go?
Oh, no.
Go ahead, sir.
No, you count it down.
3, 2, 1. Twilight.
Oh. Yeah, we're way off.
Oh, shit.
Mine's Beneath the Scarlet Sky.
Oh.
Twilight. What the Just kidding.
Nah, just Beneath the Scarlet Sky is our number one, and my God, I'm gonna let Kaden take the reins here, because
Casey read this book and wouldn't shut the hell up about it.
I would not shut up about it.
So I was like, oh, whatever, because he introduced this book to me while I was in the middle of my Dune series.
Yeah.
And when I'm in my Dune series, I don't want to leave it, because it's kind of tough for my brain to get back into that kind of writing style. So I didn't want to leave it, but like I said, Casey wouldn't stop talking about it, and so I took his word on it, like I do most things, and I always have doubts, but he's never let me down. Beneath the Scarlet Sky, it is not only a realistic book.
Well, it's based on a real person. Like, it's his real life.
Yeah, real person.
Yeah.
I mean, but the author does such a good well of portraying those realistic moments. I mean, I remember reading a little bit about the author. He did so much research.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, not only did he sit down with, what's his name, Pina. Crap.
I will look that up real quick.
Yeah, here, I got you.
I will hurry and go into why I like it so much now. So this book is a roller coaster of emotions. It's about an Italian boy who is growing up in the 1940s, and the Nazi regime is starting to come into Italy more. And it's basically about his struggles with that and his life throughout all of the Nazi regime. And it goes places. It will break your heart. It will make you fall in love. Will make you laugh, make you cry. It is a roller coaster of emotions. And it has one of the best love stories of any book I've read, and almost any television. I'm not going to spoil it, but man, at the end, I was...
Pino Lela.
Yep. Such a good character. Like, what he went through as a person, that is one of the most brave and courageous individuals out there.
Could you imagine going through some of the things he went through, man? The bombing, the war, I mean, the loss that he had. Some of the scenes, I can't say anything, but they're so heartbreaking. And that is my number one reason why it's in my number one book. I mean, I've read multiple books, but this is the only one that has hit me so emotionally. I think I teared up and actually choked up and cried.
I was
4 or
crying.
5 separate times.
100%.
You know, some TV shows don't even do that for me. So this Beneath the Scarlet Sky is a very big recommended book.
Yeah, it's like a really quick read. Parts it's a happy read, other parts it's so depressing.
But there's not a dull moment.
No, not at all.
That's why it is such a quick read. It's a bigger book, but you fly through it so quick because it sucks you in so fast.
The character of Pino is just so well written. You really feel like you know him.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning, Mark Sullivan, he really built up Pino Lela. Yeah. I mean, it really captured. I don't know how he is in real life, but I believe he really captured what Pino was in real life. And it does make it even a bigger book because it is based on a true story.
Yeah. And it really makes
thinking that it really happened.
It puts you in the perspective of like what it was really like back then. Yeah. You know, I didn't have much idea.
Who knew what the war was like in Italy?
Yeah. exactly. I mean, smarter people probably knew for sure. You know, they're like, these idiots.
Our school didn't teach us shit.
No. Hitler was bad. That's
just
about
kidding,
it.
I didn't listen.
But it really put you in the perspective of what it was like in World War II. And it is devastating. It is just
heartbreaking, but also so fulfilling.
Just beautiful moments in that, like, destruction. Just beauty rises in small moments that really make you appreciate family. And
one of my favorite parts about the show, it's not too big of a spoiler, book, my bad. One of my favorite parts about the book, it's not too big of a spoiler. During the war, there was a temple, church. Yeah. That I
think it was like the Catholic Church in Italy, like one of those super big cathedrals.
Yeah, I believe the pastor, father. Yeah. Luigi, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
He lit up the entire church to make sure that they don't bomb it. Yeah. And it survived the entire war. Yeah. And so I think that's a true part of this book is they really did do that. Put lights on this church to protect it from the bombs of the Nazis and, the US and stuff like that.
And then there's just that one little scene that sticks up to me, a little spoiler, but nothing too bad, but like they bomb his village, so Pino takes a train to a field to sleep. Yeah. Just when his dad plays the violin and they talk about how it's the most beautiful voice ever because the destruction that they just witnessed.
He was saying, my dad usually doesn't sing this well, but there was just something different about that night. That was the first moment in that book I teared up. Yep, same. And it was such an amazing it as such beauty. Yeah. Oh man, I gotta read that book again.
I could read that one again. I could read that a million times. About the biggest recommendation I could possibly give for anything. Like, you got to read Beneath the Scarlet Sky. Yes. You will not regret it. Even if you haven't picked up a book in 50 years, you read the first chapter and you'll be hooked immediately.
That's all it takes is just the first chapter. Really, the first 2 pages, you'll be hooked. Yeah. Just because that first 2-3 pages they explain how Pino Lele really is, how he's a lover boy. He's always falling in love very easy.
Your typical,
he's a typical teenage boy. Yeah,
you love it.
Exactly. He goes. Awesome. He's a hard worker. He's just a straight up nice kid. Exactly.
Friendly, super. Everyone loves him. Yes.
Yeah. So it sucks you in because you can really relate to the character.
100%.
Instantly, you like him.
All the characters, the brothers, the family, his friend. Yes. Yeah.
Especially his brother. Oh yeah. I loved his brother. What he becomes. He has such a great arc. Through the show, or through the book. Yep. So
it's incredible.
Oh yeah, so that is our top 3. Do you have any more honorable mentions? Anything else you want to say?
I think that is it. So that will be our top 3 here at the Cabbage Club. If you guys have any top 3s, send them on over to our Reddit channel. I want to see that shit. I want to judge you, but in a nice way, because we all have different opinions, and I want to see what books I'm missing. I want to see what I gotta read.
There's no rotten judgments here. We want to hear your favorite books.
You
and
think
your
World
feedback,
War Z is a trash fire? Tell me why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we won't trash you for hating on the trash that we like.
Yeah, exactly. But do it nicely.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to be on the same page here. Yeah. So. But anyways, that's our top 3. This is an introduction of Cabbage Club and what it's going to be like here.
I'm excited for this journey, and I hope you guys come along for the road. It's going to be a nice water season. We're going to grow here soon.
Oh yeah, stay tuned with us. We'll let you guys know what book we're going to be starting next. Yeah. Keep up with us, throughout the chapters. And yeah, from there, just stay tuned about especially where to get a hold of us, our email address, our website, our social media. We're going to get that all
kind of detailed right now as an infamously, like I said. So we will get this all.
We just want to know you guys, and we want you guys to know us. Yeah. So, and keep a lookout on YouTube as well. We're going to branch out there. Yeah. So exactly. See exactly what we look at.
Bright future
look ahead. Like, see Casey's, funky perm he's got on his head.
Beautiful face.
Yeah, there you go. So, anyways, that is it for the Cabbage Club. You guys have a great morning and a great day, and we will see you guys next week.
Deuces.